All you need to know, the Bloomberg Quint podcast that prepares you for the day's business. Good morning and happy Monday to you. You're listening to the daily morning update from Bloomberg Quint and I'm Alex Matthew. Today is the 13th of May. In tweets over the weekend, US President Donald Trump said it would be wise for China to act now to finish a trade deal with the US. He warned of far worse terms after what he predicted would be his certain re-election in 2020. Trump's comments came a day after talks between the world's two largest economies ended without a resolution. At the end of last week, the US increased tariffs on $200 billion of Chinese imports, and China made clear what it wants to see from the US in talks to end the trade war. Chinese Vice Premier Liu He said in interviews with the Chinese media that in order to reach an agreement with the US, all extra tariffs must be removed and targets must be set for Chinese purchase of goods in line with real demand. Etihad Airways has submitted a binding bid for Jet Airways under the sale process being conducted by State Bank of India. In addition, Jet Airways has also received 3 unsolicited bids, including one from its employees. Etihad already owns 24% stake in Jet Airways and had previously pulled out of a restructuring plan because the lending consortium did not approve the conditions it has placed. The terms of the bid, however, are not known. In an email response to a query by Bloomberg Quint, a spokesperson for the Abu Dhabi airline said, and I quote, Etihad Airways re-emphasizes that it cannot be expected to be the sole investor and that among other requirements, additional suitable investors would need to provide the majority of Jet Airways' required recapitalization, unquote. In other news, the Finance Ministry is reworking its strategic sale process to ensure outright sale of central public sector enterprises within 4 months of issuance of documents to potential investors. Now, Corporate Affairs Secretary Injeti Srinivas, in an interview with news agency PTI, has said that the non-banking finance space in India is in a state of imminent crisis. There is evidence, according to him, of a credit squeeze, over-leveraging, excessive concentration, massive mismatch between assets and liabilities, coupled with some misadventures by some very large entities. YC Deveshwar, the non-executive chairman of consumer goods maker ITC, passed away on Saturday. He was 72 years old. He holds the distinction of having been the longest-serving chief executive officer of an Indian company. He was instrumental in expanding ITC's business beyond tobacco and warding off a takeover threat by British American Tobacco. In earnings, Larsen & Toubro's profit for the March-ended quarter met estimates. Its profit for the 3 months rose 8% year-on-year to 3,418 crore, according to a company filing. Analysts tracked by Bloomberg had projected the metric at 3,394 crore. The Bitcoin surged more than $1,000 over the weekend to its highest level since August as cryptocurrencies extended their rebound from a slump last month amid the New York Attorney General's investigation of a key part of the market. Virtual currencies had slumped late last month after the New York Attorney General had alleged an $850 million cover-up by the companies behind virtual currency Tether and Bitfinex, one of the world's largest crypto exchanges. It's another weak start for the Asian markets this morning, with all 3 early risers firmly in the red. It'll be interesting to watch the Chinese benchmarks today. Chinese state-backed funds were active in buying domestic equities on Friday after they had declined in the wake of the Trump administration imposing additional tariffs. And finally, watch the foreign institutional flow data that's coming in for the Indian equities. On Friday, data indicates that FIIs net sold nearly 1,250 crore of equity. Already this month, they've net sold close to 4,000 crore rupees of equity in 6 straight sessions. With that, it's over to Darshan Mehta for the trade setup for the day in India. Morning, Darshan. How are we looking today?
Hi Alex, good morning everyone. Asian cues are slightly weak at this point of time and the SGX Nifty is indicating a slight negative outlook. In terms of numbers today, we are halfway into the Nifty earnings, and HDFC and ITC will report numbers today. Some of the other companies that will report numbers include Vodafone Idea, Inox Leisure, Just Dial, Karnataka Bank, SRF, and Godrej Industries. In terms of numbers after market hours on Friday and over the weekend, strong numbers were seen from Syndicate Bank, GSK Consumer, V2 Retail, Merck, Oberoi Realty, and Vinati Organics. Inline set of numbers from L&T, Eicher, Avenue Supermarts, GNA Axel, and La Opala. For L&T, the infrastructure segment did manage to disappoint, while margins came in below estimates. And in terms of numbers which were weak, Relaxo, V-Mart, Quick Heal, and Nilkamal reported weak set of earnings. In terms of stocks to watch, Reliance Industry intends to close a 330,000 barrel per day crude unit in Gujarat for maintenance. Edelweiss financial arm ECL Finance receives 1040 crores from pension fund manager CDPQ as investment in the form of compulsory convertible debentures and equity shares. And Dewan Housing says that from September 24 till date, the company has made more than 30,000 crores of principal and interest payments to its creditors, including its fixed deposit holders. But there's much more you need to know before trade actually starts. For that, log on to our website bloombergquint.com and click on the All You Need to Know tab, and you will be prepared for morning trade.
Thanks, Darshan. Well, that's all we have for you on this podcast, but as always, there's a lot more on the website, so do check it out. This is Alex Matthews signing off. Have a lovely week ahead.
I hope you enjoyed listening to All You Need to Know. Did you know that you can listen to the show on the IVM Podcast app? On the IVM Podcast app, along with this, we have a number of other shows which you think you'll enjoy. Listen to Cyrus Says with Cyrus Brocha as the host. Listen to Paisa Vaisa with Anupam Gupta. The Scene and the Unseen with Amit Verma. Or Shunya One hosted by Shiladitya Mukhopadhyay and myself. Check out the IVM Podcast app to get more talk content that you will enjoy.